A second home. Why Mars? Look up at the night sky. It's a vast expanse of mystery and wonder, filled with countless stars and celestial bodies. For centuries, humans have been fascinated by what lies beyond our own planet. The night sky has always been a source of inspiration, curiosity, and dreams. Among all the stars and planets, one has always stood out and captured our imagination more than any other. On a clear night, you can see it. A tiny dot, seemingly insignificant yet so profound. This dot has been the subject of countless studies, stories, and speculations. It's a beacon of hope and a symbol of the unknown. This dot is Mars, the red planet, our closest planetary neighbor and a potential second home for humanity. A reddish little light shining with the stars. Mars has always been a source of intrigue. Its distinct reddish hue sets it apart from other celestial bodies. This color, caused by iron oxide or rust on its surface, has led to its nickname, the Red Planet. But Mars is more than just a red dot in the sky. It's a world with its own history, geography, and potential. That's Mars, our neighbor in space. It's a planet that has captivated the minds of scientists, astronomers, and dreamers for generations. With its valleys, mountains, and polar ice caps, Mars is a world that, in many ways, mirrors our own. Yet it's also a world of extremes, with temperatures that can plummet to minus 195 degrees Fahrenheit and dust storms that can engulf the entire planet. For hundreds of years, people have looked at Mars and wondered. Ancient civilizations named it after their gods of war, and early astronomers mapped its surface with rudimentary telescopes. The more we learned about Mars, the more questions we had. Could there be life on Mars? What secrets does it hold? These questions have driven scientific inquiry and exploration for centuries. Is there anything living there? Could we live there? These questions have fueled our desire to explore Mars. With the advent of modern technology, we've sent rovers, orbiters, and landers to study the planet up close. These missions have provided invaluable data, revealing the presence of water, the composition of the Martian soil, and the planet's climate history. Each discovery brings us one step closer to understanding Mars and its potential to support life. Now, in the 21st century, those questions aren't just in sci-fi movies anymore. With advancements in space travel and technology, the dream of sending humans to Mars is becoming a reality. Space agencies around the world, including NASA, ESA, and private companies like SpaceX, are working tirelessly to make this dream come true. They're developing the technology, training the astronauts, and planning the missions that will take us to Mars. We're about to start a new adventure, where people will walk on Mars and start to build a new home. This journey will be filled with challenges and uncertainties, but it's also a journey of hope and possibility. By exploring Mars, we're not just looking for a new place to live, we're seeking to expand our horizons, to push the boundaries of human knowledge and capability. Mars represents the next great frontier, and our journey there will be a testament to the indomitable spirit of exploration and discovery. For many years, we only knew Mars from blurry pictures from telescopes and robot explorers. But lately, we've learned heaps. Thanks to missions like the Mars rovers, we now know that Mars used to have a much thicker atmosphere and flowing water. We've found signs of old lakes, rivers, and even oceans. Why Mars? Out of all the planets and moons in our solar system, why is this red planet the one we want to live on? It's because of a bunch of things that make Mars a real possibility, not just a dream. Unlike the super hot Venus or giant Jupiter, Mars is tough, but we might be able to live there. Mars could be a place for humans to live, but it's not Earth 2.0. It's a tough and unforgiving world, very different from our own. Knowing these differences is super important for getting ready for the challenges and exciting things waiting for us on the red planet. Part 3. Water, the elixir of Martian life. When looking for life outside Earth, the motto has always been follow the water. And on Mars, even though liquid water is rare on the surface now, we have good reason to believe it wasn't always like this. Old riverbeds, dried up lake bottoms, and even hints of past oceans show us a Mars that was once wetter and warmer, maybe even able to support life. Part 4. The challenges of a thin atmosphere. Mars has an atmosphere, but it's not like the air we breathe on Earth. The Martian atmosphere is about 100 times thinner than Earth's and is mostly carbon dioxide, 95%, with only tiny bits of nitrogen and oxygen, the gases we need to breathe. This thin atmosphere is both a challenge and an opportunity as we think about living on the red planet. Part 1. The Martian Pioneers, a new generation of explorers. Who will be the first people on Mars? They won't be like the Apollo astronauts, national heroes chosen from a small group. Think of a diverse group of highly skilled people, men and women from all walks of life, each with an important job to do in building a new society on a new world. Part 2. The journey, from launch pad to landing site. Imagine standing on Earth, looking up at a rocket pointed at the stars. On that rocket are the first Mars colonists, strapped in and ready for a trip unlike any taken before. The engines roar, the ground shakes, and slowly the rocket goes up, carrying the hopes and dreams of humanity. Part 3. Building a home, brick by Martian brick. The first Mars colonists won't be putting up tents and planting flags. They'll be building a permanent home that can support itself, a symbol of human cleverness in the Martian wilderness. This home will need to protect them from the harsh environment, make energy, grow food, and recycle important resources. Part 4. A day in the life of a Martian colonist. Imagine waking up on Mars. You're not on Earth anymore. The sun, smaller and not as bright, casts a pale light on the red landscape outside your window. You're in a new world, a pioneer on the final frontier. Life on Mars will be unlike anything we know on Earth, a mix of high-tech and basic survival. Engineering life support, breathing, drinking, and thriving on Mars. Stepping onto Mars, you'd know right away, this isn't Earth. The thin air wouldn't let you breathe, the cold would freeze you, and the low pressure would make your blood boil. Making a place to live on Mars is our biggest challenge. We need to build a life support system, a mini Earth. Powering the red planet energy solutions for a Martian colony. A busy Martian colony will need lots of power. We're not talking about a few solar panels. We need to power homes, greenhouses, labs, and maybe even cities. Luckily, we have some good ideas for powering our future on Mars. From science fiction to reality, building homes on Mars. Forget about bricks and cement. Building on Mars will be totally different. We need buildings that can handle strong radiation, extreme temperatures, and almost no air. Luckily, human ingenuity and cool technology are up to the task. The future of farming is Martian cultivating crops in alien soil. Forget supermarkets and farmers' markets. On Mars, food will be super valuable, carefully grown in a special environment. The first Martian colonists won't be farming outside. They'll be growing crops inside greenhouses and hydroponic farms. The body and balance human health on the Martian frontier. Imagine stepping onto Mars, feeling lighter than ever. The lower gravity, only 38% of Earth's, might seem fun. like walking on the moon. But this difference, this pull that has shaped our bodies for ages, is one of the biggest challenges to living on Mars, staying healthy in an alien place. The invisible threat radiation and the Martian shield. On Earth, we enjoy the sun's warmth. We don't notice the cosmic rays hitting our planet because we're protected by a magnetic field and a thick atmosphere. Mars doesn't have that protection. The surface of Mars is constantly hit by radiation, a hidden danger to human health. Part 3. Martian Psychology, the Mind on a One-Way Mission. The trip to Mars will be a long one, millions of miles. But the bigger challenge might be mental, the journey within. Imagine leaving everything you know, your family, friends, the sights and sounds of Earth, for a one-way trip to an alien world. Keeping everyone happy and healthy in this environment will be super important for a successful Martian colony. Part 4. A closed-loop ecosystem, resource management on a new world. On Earth, we often take resources for granted. We live in a world where resources seem abundant and easily accessible. Water flows freely from our taps, electricity is just a switch away, and food is available in plenty at our local stores. This convenience has led to a lifestyle where we seldom think about the origins or the finite nature of these resources. We have built systems that prioritize ease and comfort, often at the expense of sustainability. We turn on the tap and get water. This simple act is something we do multiple times a day without a second thought. The infrastructure that brings water to our homes is complex and vast, involving reservoirs, treatment plants, and miles of piping. Yet for most of us, the process remains invisible. We are disconnected from the source, and this disconnection fosters a sense of endless supply. We flick a switch and the lights turn on. Electricity powers our homes, our devices, and our lives. The grid that supplies this power is a marvel of modern engineering, but it is also a system under strain. As our demand for energy grows, so does the pressure on our natural resources. Fossil fuels, which still account for a significant portion of our energy production, are finite, and their extraction and use have profound environmental impacts. But on Mars, every drop of water, every bit of power, every breath of air will be precious. The harsh environment of Mars offers no room for waste. The thin atmosphere, extreme temperatures, and lack of liquid water mean that every resource must be carefully managed. Colonists will need to adopt a mindset of conservation and efficiency, where nothing is taken for granted and everything is reused and recycled. Creating a sustainable Martian colony means changing how we think, from a wasteful system to a closed-loop system where resources are carefully managed and reused. This involves innovative technologies and practices that ensure every resource is utilized to its fullest potential. Water recycling systems will purify and reuse wastewater. Energy will be generated from renewable sources like solar and wind and stored efficiently. Air will be filtered and recirculated. Food production will rely on hydroponics and other space-efficient farming techniques. This closed-loop approach not only makes survival on Mars possible, but also offers valuable lessons for improving sustainability on Earth. Part 1. A Martian Renaissance, the scientific promise of a new world. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast, unexplored land. Every rock, every crack, every part of the landscape holds secrets, waiting to be discovered. This is why Mars is so exciting for science. A perfect lab for unlocking the mysteries of our solar system and maybe even answering some of humanity's biggest questions. Beyond the horizon economic opportunities and Martian industries, going to Mars might seem like a charity project, a big science trip. But beyond the science, there are potential economic opportunities, a chance to create new industries and make everyone richer, both on Mars and back on Earth. The history of life on Earth is a story of survival, but also of danger. We've faced asteroid crashes, volcanoes, and ice ages, events that have changed our planet and threatened all life. Today, we face new challenges: climate change, running out of resources, and the threat of nuclear war. As we look to the future, we must ask ourselves, what if Earth becomes impossible to live on? Close your eyes and imagine a future not hundreds of years from now, but maybe in your lifetime. A future where that faint red dot in the night sky isn't a distant world, but a shining example of human cleverness, a symbol of our courage and our drive to explore. This is the future we're trying to create on Mars. Throughout history, we've always been curious, wanting to explore the unknown, to push boundaries, and to go beyond what we know. From the first people leaving Africa to sailing across oceans, to the first steps in space, we've always wanted to reach further, see more, and leave our mark on the universe. Imagine a future, generations from now, when kids born on Mars look up at the night sky, not at a single red planet, but at a sky filled with the light of a thriving Martian civilization. Imagine the bustling cities, the advanced technology, and the harmonious communities that have flourished over the years. These children will grow up in a world where the impossible has become possible, where humanity has extended its reach beyond Earth and into the cosmos. They will remember the early pioneers, the brave men and women who left Earth and built a new home in a harsh land. These pioneers faced countless challenges, from the thin atmosphere to the extreme temperatures, yet they persevered. They laid the foundations of what would become a thriving society, overcoming obstacles with determination and innovation. They will inherit a legacy of resilience, ingenuity, and a spirit of exploration that knows no bounds. The settlers of Mars have developed new technologies and ways of living that have not only ensured their survival, but have also enriched their lives in ways previously unimaginable, and a deep respect for the delicate balance of life in a challenging environment. The Martian settlers have learned to live in harmony with their surroundings, creating sustainable ecosystems that support life in the most efficient ways. They have become stewards of their new world, understanding that their survival depends on maintaining this balance. This respect for the environment will be passed down through generations, ensuring that the legacy of Mars is one of sustainability and harmony. The children of Mars will be educated about the history of their planet, learning about the struggles and triumphs of those who came before them. They will be inspired by the stories of courage and innovation, and they will be motivated to continue this legacy, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. They will play and grow in a community that values cooperation and mutual support, understanding that their strength lies in their unity. The Martian society will be one where everyone works together for the common good, fostering a sense of belonging and purpose. The culture of Mars will be rich and diverse, with art, music, and traditions that reflect the unique experiences of its inhabitants. This cultural heritage will be a source of pride and identity for the Martian people, connecting them to their past and guiding them into the future. As they explore the vast and beautiful landscapes of Mars, they will be reminded of the incredible journey that brought them here. The red planet, once a distant dream, will be their home, a testament to human ingenuity and the unyielding spirit of exploration. And as they look to the stars, they will dream of new horizons, new worlds to explore, and new challenges to overcome. The legacy of Mars will be one of endless possibilities, a beacon of hope and inspiration for all of humanity.